Hi friends, welcome back to my channel. Today I wanted to share with you the lessons that I learned from going on a low buy last year. I did commit to a low buy for 6 months in 2023 and I did stumble here and there, but I kept at it, and I know that going on a low buy / no buy this year has been trending, and it's been a few weeks into 2024 and maybe your motivation has been wavering, so I'm here to just tell you how it went for me last year and maybe it'll help you stay motivated. I released a video last year about my blank notebook collection, and I mentioned that I was going to go on a no buy from January to June, and I really did intend to stick to that, but unfortunately it didn't really pan out the way I had hoped. I did end up buying some things, and I only counted personal purchases that was meant for my own enjoyment. So things like books, games, stationery, things that my son needed or my husband needed, groceries, things like that I didn't count because obviously those don't apply to me and my spending habits. I did track in my planner last year all the times that I bought something. So I kept a simple no spend tracker on my weeks, and I kept at it for the whole year. There were times that I didn't fully keep up with it, like when I was on vacation, but I did at the very least note when I would buy a stationery item. So I do have some numbers to share. So out of the 365 days last year, I bought a personal purchase 27 times. So I did some math, and for 92.6% of the year, I didn't buy anything. So that's an A, that's a passing grade, right? But it's not 100%, so I will get to that later on. For now, I just want to share with you the first lesson that I learned going on a low buy, and that is you need a clear, tangible motivation to do it. You can't just do it just because it's what everybody is doing and it's trendy and maybe it'll boost your content for the algorithm. You need a very clear reason for why you're doing it, and it needs to be personal to you. So maybe it could be a financial reason. You're trying to pay down debt, stay on top of your credit card bill, whatever it may be. That is a very clear motivation where you can see the numbers month by month. You can see how much you're spending. And maybe you don't want your personal spending to go up a certain number. That is a very clear goal that will keep you motivated into sticking to your low buy. And it doesn't have to be a financial reason either. It could be a material reason. Maybe you just have way too much stuff in your stationery stash. Maybe you want to slow down on the intake of things into your house. Maybe you're embracing minimalism and you're decluttering. Maybe you're downsizing. That is what happened to me. I just felt like I had too many things and I wasn't able to keep up with all of the purchases I was making. I wasn't going through things as fast as I was hoping, and there were packages just coming in every day, and that wasn't something that I wanted to do anymore. I really wanted to cull down my possessions and feel less overwhelmed with everything that I had in my home. So that was my motivation, and going on a low buy made a huge difference in my simplifying and decluttering journey last year. So you need a very clear reason as to why you are going on a low buy. If you don't have a very clear personal reason, now is the time to grab your journal and write down why you're doing it. It can't just be because you saw your favorite influencer doing it, or because times are just harder in general. You need something much more concrete than that. I'm going on a low buy because, and you can write down your reason. And if you want to, you can go ahead and share down in the comments what your reason is for going on a low buy. My second lesson for going on a low buy is you can't view it as a punishment. It's easy to think of it as grounding yourself. You know, you bought too many things and so now you're grounded from making any more purchases. That is a very easy mentality to slip into, but you really can't look at your low buy that way. You have to have a much more positive mindset towards your low buy. So something that I had to do was reframe my mindset into thinking that I have everything that I need, and having less things in my stash means that I could appreciate what I have even more. And going on a low buy not only saved me money, but it also helped me reclaim the money that I have spent in the past. It helped me free up space in my home, and it really does make a big difference when you do that for yourself. Another way you can look at it is as a personal project. So one way to encourage yourself to stick to your low buy is to do something like a project pan, which is what I did in 2022. I felt like I needed additional motivation for slowing down my purchases, and I felt really inspired by the makeup community to go on a project pan for my stationery, so I will link that playlist down below. I think going through that journey really made a big difference in how I was spending my money and what kind of things I was taking into my home. So if you need that extra layer of motivation, I definitely recommend going on a project plan. That can keep you distracted from thinking that, oh, I can't buy all of these things. I hate this feeling. I feel like I'm missing out. If you have a project that takes away your focus from that, you will be able to stick to your low buy a lot better. The next lesson I learned from my low buy is that things take longer to finish than you think. Buying something online is really quick and easy, right? Depending on what app you're using. You already have your payment info saved on your app, so all you have to do is click buy now, wait a couple of days, and it's on your doorstep. That is a really easy process that didn't take a lot of effort. Finishing up a pack of stickers or using up a whole pen or filling up a notebook, that takes way longer than buying. And sometimes it can feel like a slog. Sometimes it feels like you're going nowhere. And if you're just buying and buying all these things, but you're not using them up, they're just going to keep piling up into your stash. And I don't think that's a worthy pursuit. I feel like you should be able to enjoy your stash to the fullest. I think that's something that we all deserve. I know that we all love stationery, but we should channel that love into what we already have and not seek out something new and different and not appreciating what's already in front of you, right? So realizing that the rate that I was using things up wasn't keeping up with the rate that I was buying things definitely changed my mind frame on my spending habits and how I was coping with my feelings and using shopping as a coping mechanism. And I know that the planner community is made up of a lot of small businesses, so I'm not judging anyone for buying from small businesses, but I'm just saying that if you're constantly shopping and you're not able to keep up with your stash, maybe it's time to reassess how much things you're bringing in. And that leads me to the next lesson I learned from going on a low buy is that it's not an all or nothing project. It's really easy to think that you bought something that you didn't need to. It was an impulse purchase, you had a really hard day, and it just happened. Well, now your low buy has failed, and you might as well just go back to your old habits. You can't think of it that way because you're setting yourself up for failure. You don't have to expect perfection from yourself, you just have to expect progress, right? That's the saying, progress over perfection. It's like going on a fitness journey or a financial journey. You're going to hit ups and downs, and that doesn't mean that you should just give up. You should always be trying again when things get hard and you stumbled. Going on a low buy is definitely a long-term commitment, and you can't let the lows keep you on the low, you know what I mean? Going back to my low buy stats earlier, I did end up purchasing some days of the year, and I actually have some stats here that I wrote down, and I can see here that June was my worst month. I was supposed to be on a low buy still, but I was gearing up for July. I had some things planned that I needed some items for, and I went ahead and broke my low buy to prep for those things, and it was the right decision because I had a wonderful time in July. It was my birthday weekend, my friend came to visit me, and it was just so great. I did go ahead and keep at my low buy for the rest of the year, but you can see from the graphic that I'm sharing here that on average I would buy something twice a month. But even so, I didn't give up. I still kept up my low buy habit, and I do feel that my low buy year last year was a success because I was shopping way less than I did the previous years before when we were in lockdown and I was stuck at home and I was struggling with some postpartum things, and so I was using shopping as a coping mechanism for all that. But last year was definitely a breakthrough for me where I was able to enjoy shopping when I made intentional purchases, but it wasn't all impulse shopping. And that is something that I hope everybody realizes on their no buy, low buy journey. It's that it's not all or nothing. Do not beat yourself up if there's a day where you feel like you failed. Just get right back on it and keep tracking when you purchased and when you didn't. I highly recommend tracking your no spend journey in your planner because the stats are really interesting. Like for me, I found that I'm able to go through at least 2 weeks before buying anything, so that was an interesting stat for me. Maybe after 2 weeks I get bored, or maybe my stress just kind of builds up and I end up buying something. I don't know. I'm still figuring it out myself, but that's just an interesting thing for me to find out. And then the last lesson I want to share with you today is you need a plan when you're done with your low buy. You can't just go back to the same old habits that you did before. And ideally, if your low buy year worked, you wouldn't be going back to those same habits. You should be able to find healthier coping mechanisms for when you're stressed. You should have had some insights on how many things you really have. You should be able to think outside the box. If you want something, maybe you already have something in your stash that can do what you're looking for, right? It's not like you do the low buy year and then nothing changes. There has to be some growth and self-development through the low buy year. So this is the time to look inward and just reflect on your spending habits and why you were shopping so much, and take those lessons going forward. So for me, I really feel like my low buy year was worth it because I have a much healthier relationship with shopping. I no longer feel guilty or stressed when I buy something because I know that it was an intentional, mindful purchase. I thought about it, I decided I really wanted it, and I have the money for it, and so it was a guilt-free spend for me. And that is something that I want for you if you are going on a low buy journey. I don't want you to feel any guilt or stress when you're buying something. I want you to feel joy and excitement when you buy a piece of stationery, because we all love stationery, and so it should bring joy to us always. It shouldn't be a source of stress and anxiety. So if you are on a low buy journey, I wish you luck. I hope this has motivated you. If you have any questions for me, please let me know down below. I will be happy to answer your questions. And I will be sharing some more low buy content going forward on this channel. Since I haven't been shopping as much as I used to, I don't really have any hauls or unboxings to do. So I'm slowly pivoting more to low buy focused content and staying the course on my zero stash journey. So thank you so much for watching this video. This is Baba Notes, and I will see you next time. Bye!